right, everyone. I want to share with you the funky fish flow from our Hear Here yoga routine. So when you do it, it will make more sense to you in your body. There's always a logic of how this goes together. What I'm trying to share is that, and I want to share with you how you can modify it, if you need to modify it, and little tips to make this flow together even better, so it'll be less clunky when you do it. All right, so let's start off in downward dog. We'll do it once slow speed, just so you can feel the movements, and then we'll try it fast, even though you might not be fully warmed up. So I just want to make a commitment, you to make a commitment to yourself, saying that I don't need to get fully into the hot water. I can just stick, go up to my knees in this hot water in the bathtub, so to speak. Don't feel you gotta do your best social media, most impressive version of the poses. All right, so here we go. Downward dog. So again, this is the breakdown. We lift up one leg, and then we step it deeply into a lunge. Incidentally, let people keep their hands flat, but lift up onto your fingertips, and that will help you to bring that right foot forward. Now, I don't know if you saw this, but my back foot starts to slide back. For me personally, I need a longer stride. If you don't, keep it there, but if you need more stride, a longer stride, the hip sticks back, which makes this hip stretch more. And I take this hand forward, and I take my left hand off to the left. And I sink down, and I'm just letting breath come under here and the right hip to open up. Now also, with my hands, I'm pressing back the hips as I reach forward, so everything above the belly button comes forward. Now my left hand is off to the left. I remove my right hand. So now the balance is going to come between my right foot and my left hand. And I press through. Now why do we do this? Because mobility is the new jacked. We'll just leave it at that. We step back into a deep lunge. And then we press forward. Movement is good. Yoga makes you flexible. But can you move? And we link that together with the breath. Okay, so a few of those. Then we go ahead and take that left foot up into a seated pigeon, except we're not bringing our butts to the floor. Keep your hips up and slide. Stay active, first of all, with this left foot. Yawn, spread open through the toes. Why do yoga instructors say that? Because they want your knees to be protected. Okay, so this lights up muscles and tendons around my knees when I spread open through the toes. So I want my knee to be stable as I bring my chest towards it. And not just towards it, but I go up, up, up with my chest. And I start to pull my hip back. I'm just trying to stretch my left hip here. And hopefully you're doing it with me. Now, this funky transition came to me one day and I love it. I bring the right hip onto the floor as I bring the left leg down and across. And I've set up for Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of Fish pose, where the name funky fish routine comes from. So I can hug this leg in, and I gotta slide my left hip back, slide it back. This hip slides back as this knee comes across. I'm using my bicep to pull, or I can bring my elbow around to get that twist. As the hip goes down, I go up, and we'll take a couple of breaths. Okay. Now we simply reverse it. Just reverse it. So the way we got into it is the way we will get out of it. So we come up here, press out, and back. And from this place, you'll see my back side, but I'll do it both sides. I rotate on the heels, so now I'm coming into a preparation for Upavishta Konasana, or wide leg standing fold, Prasarita Padottanasana rather. I fold, take a couple of breaths. What's up, everyone? Upside down. Breathe. Now I'm going to bend my left leg, and so I'm not doing Skandasana. I'm bringing my right elbow down. This is like a mute grab in yoga and like snowboarding with my left arm up. And I'm trying to stretch this inner right groin. And the more I can sink and pull my hips towards my left foot, the better. Now, a lot of people start to look up, but look towards your right foot for this. It will help. Then I morph slowly to the front. Notice this knee bends. And I bring this right hand down to the inside of the right foot. Circle this left hand up into a triangle. And I want to stretch the underside of my right leg. If that's enough stretch, I just say, yeah, that's cool. But if I need more, it's almost like a variation of Vashisthasana or compass pose. I lift the right toes up, take the left hand on the outer right foot and stretch. And now I have to pull this right hip up and back the whole time. All right? Breathing. I bring my hands to the floor and back to a one-leg dog. And since that right leg lifts up, I don't always stop in a right leg dog unless I don't like Wild Thing. And then one leg dog is a fine variation. Up, and I let my right leg keep going. Now I switch my left hand to where my right hand was. Up, and press up slowly. Notice how for Wild Thing, a lot of people just go up. One, notice my shoulders over my wrist. I'm not out here, or not out here. Okay, more or less. Actually, it's not quite exactly over my wrist, but I gotta make sure that the tension's showing up properly in my shoulder joint. I'm using my thumb. And I press off my feet and send my chest up far and away for a Wild Thing. Opening. And then I turn, bring my hands to the floor to a one-leg dog position. And we'll do the same poses on the other side. So that's one sequence, one side. I want you to lift your left leg up when you're ready. Step your left foot into a super deep lunge. And now in Blissology Yoga, a lot of people keep their hands here, but I want you to use your hands to get the stretch. Use your hands wisely, they're on the floor. So if I'm pressing my hips back as I breathe and elongate my shoulders forward, then I'm going to have a nice stretch in my hip joints. And I sink down every time I breathe out, and look how far open my right hand is, which helps me to press my right hip out. But it also helps me set up for my next shot, so to speak, to use a pool or billiard analogy, which is with my left foot, right hand on the floor, and I press out. Hiya. Inhale in, and I get low, and you try to make this really smooth. Shh. One more. Yes. Exhale. Shh. From here, I bring that right ankle up. I have to move my right hand and bring my chest towards my thigh and to stretch open in a really delicious way that right hip. I bring my left hip down, turn, Ardha Matsyendrasana, maybe hugging the knee. This is the conversation here. This left sit bone goes back as my left knee comes up and over, and I twist, but not for too long. And I bring it up, turn, press the right foot forward, come out. There we have it. And I turn into this, what I call Spider-Man lunge. Turn on the feet, take a breath in, fold forward, knees can be bent and stretch. Bend my right leg, bring the left hand down maybe, or I can stay up higher. If your knees are sore, I didn't mention this on the other side, but it's a great time to talk about it. You can be up here. Okay, so don't hurt your knees in order to make a shape that looks like me. Okay, so that's a way you can make it safer for you. Right arm's in charge as it throws me forward and up into a triangle pose. I don't think I did that transition quite as gracefully on the other side because I was talking about something else, but that's the way the arm works. Heel is down. Left toes are up if you want more. You can even walk this hip back. I'm side tilting the pelvis. I have a bend in this left leg. I can take my right hand to the left foot. I'm being guided by sensation, so I don't have to straighten my left leg all the way. As long as I feel a stretch in that left leg, my pose may look like this, or maybe it straightens. Come up, bring your right hand where the left hand was, flip all the way around, open up in the Wild Thing, and then we'll turn and press back, Downward Dog. All right, let's try this one now. Regular speed, like you'll see in the video. But my hope is that by showing you this, one, you'll be able to modify. Two, you'll be able to get deeper into the practice, like to find these little subtle cues that help you to find more alignment or more ease of movement. And that will increase the joy that you do the practice with. I love this flow. Here we go. You ready? Right leg up towards the sky. Give you a second. Breathe in. Step the right foot forward into a lunge and take a couple of breaths. Breathe in. And sink the hip down. Breathe out. Do one more. Left hand's out to the left. Remove your left foot and press out. We'll do it with breath. Inhale back to a lunge. Exhale, press out and away. Shh. Do one more. Breathe in. And then exhale, press out. Left ankle on top. Shift and breathe for a couple breaths to open up your beautiful left hip. Bring the right hip down. Turn. Ardha Matsyendrasana preparation. Chest lifts. Send the left hip back. Actually lift the hip up and glide it back. Breathe in. And I breathe out. Spread right shoulder forward and right. Left shoulder back and left. Breathe in. And breathe out. Let's do one more. Bring the hands behind you. Turn. Step your left foot forward and back into this very familiar lunge. Turn to the left side of the mat. Breathe in. Parallel up the feet. Breathe out and fold and stretch. Take your hands somewhere that feels good. We'll stay for about 3 breaths. 1. Breathing. 2. How good does this feel? Lengthen your spine. And then bend your left leg and reach your left arm up. Stay up high if that feels better, or bring your right elbow down. Try and stretch open your inner right groin. Take 2 more breaths. Look forward. Now let's morph into triangle pose. Right hand comes to the inside of the right shin. Circle that left arm up and stretch. Stay here. Or you can bring that left hand down to the outside of the right foot. Nuzzle your right shoulder to the inside of right knee. Straighten the right leg. Choose one of those actions. You can just be in triangle. If this is too much, breathe in. Breathe out. Do one more. And then lift up. Take the left hand where the right hand was and turn. Bend your knees. And then press up into a beautiful, expanded, joyous, wild thing position. One more breath. I'm turning, bringing the right foot where the left one was, right hand where the left one was, and pressing up and back. Left leg, next side, lifting. Step that left foot forward into a lunge. I'm sliding that right foot back. For me, I just need a bit more opening. Right hand out to the right. Good, so mobility and fluidity. Very graceful flow. Take your right foot forward and breathe out. Shh. 2 more times. Inhale in. Exhale. Shh. Do it again. Exhale. Shh. Take the right foot up and stretch out your hips. Stretch them. Breathe. Expand that right hip. Drop your left hip down. Turn and set up for your Ardha Matsyendrasana. Hold that right knee across the body. Up and over goes the knee, and down and back goes the right hip. Using these back rear right glute muscles. Breathe in, let up your toes, and breathe out. Do it again, feels so good. And breathe out. One more, breathe in, good vibes. And exhale, breathe out stress. Come back up. Take the right foot forward, spread your toes, hiya. Step on back into a lunge. Spider-Man, spin a web, turn. Take your hands, over to the right. Breathe, press your hips left. Get low, stretch it out. Low is good unless it hurts your hip or knee. Then come up higher. Bring both feet parallel. Have a slight bend to the knees. Lengthen your back as you fold forward. And stretch. 2 more long breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend your right leg. Stay up high as we talked about, or you can bring your left elbow down. Open up. You're trying to stretch open this left inner groin. You're kind of doing like half of a wide leg splits. Breathe. As the lateral splits with your left leg. Breathe, right arm up. Now just transition slowly, gracefully towards triangle. Turn on your feet. Left toes forward. Reach your right arm up. And pull yourself up by the whole right side of the body. Outer right hip, right arm. Circle that right arm down if you want to. Bring that left hand closer. Hold the outside of left foot and stretch if that works for you. Otherwise, stay in triangle. 1 breath. 2. And back. And the right hand across. Left leg up. Turn. You can just stay right here. Or turn all the way up into a wild thing. Just expanding and finding the joy. This pose is about your feet working. It's about your chest opening. 1 more breath. And then turn. And press back into a downward dog for a couple of breaths. Press through into Anahadasana, chest through the arms. And then bring the knees to the floor. And I love that in the full routine. For me, when I finished that, I felt like a dog on the beach, just like running, and I don't want to come home yet. So I hope you feel the same. I mean, it's opened you up, and your little voice inside of you says, and your voice says, more of that, please. And if it does, I'll see you in the Hear Here Superflow practice, and we'll put it all together.